Mini episode 1601 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Welcome to mini episode 1601 of the FDH Lounge. This is FDH Managing Partner Rick Morris here with our preview of Succession Season 4. Here's our top 5 notes of interest heading into the final season of this epic franchise. Number 5, Connor's marrying the gold digger and running for president, quite the midlife crisis. The conheads may not be able to carry him above 1% in the polls, but they'll be partying like it's 1999 at their hero's wedding reception. Connor always brings the comic relief, and it'll be needed like never before in this grim, world-defining final season. And speaking of Connor Roy, who was interested in politics at a very young age, number 4, will the presidential race come down to Gil and Jared? That would be amazeballs. Those two fighting it out for the White House with the Roy Civil War playing out in the background would be the entertainment that we deserve for living in a world that foists on us the crappy election choices that we get every November. Number 3, can the Roy kids keep their unprecedented sense of unity? The old man's always been able to play divide and conquer with them before, but this time feels different because of the magnitude of the betrayal that they suffered at the end of Season 3, as well as how they bonded in that moment and earlier out of concern for Kendall when he made his grand confession. Odds are that they'll stay together this time, but they are all very damaged people. Number 2, what does Waystar look like with Lucas Matson in as CEO and Logan ceding control? The season preview shows the Roy kids putting together a rogues gallery of Logan enemies, with Stewie and Sandy and the Pierces among others. But what would be the point with the company in new hands? And aside from spite, which admittedly may be Logan's most significant trait, why would he care if they took down Matson somehow, unless that somehow affects the assets that Matson will still allow him to run? Number 1, now that Tom stabbed his wife in the back to gain favor in Logan's eyes, what does their marriage even begin to look like now? Logan's ultimate FU to his kids, the deal that put the company out of their reach once and for all, was made possible by Tom's reply to 3 seasons of being dumped on by his very selfish wife. Now that Tom has finally drawn blood from Shiv, how does that affect all of the dynamics in the Roy family and in the wider Waystar battle? And how does Tom's partner in crime, Cousin Greg, figure into all of this? He seems poised to become very important in the endgame. We can't wait to see how it all plays out. Thank you for joining us for this mini episode of the FDH Lounge.